Hi, this is Dave Arnold. Welcome to News Talk 980 CJME's Talk to the Experts. Special guest in the studio with me once again, Sarah Wheelwright from Trustedsaskatoon.com. Sarah, good to see you.
Good to see you, Dave.
You brought the crew down again.
We have. We brought the S team down today for Trusted. We have myself. We have Stephen here from Wheatland Fireplace, and it's a pretty cold time of year, and it's a great place to go if you haven't been in there. It's just warm and lovely and toasty with all those fireplaces. We have Scott from CNG Stone, who is the king of granite in this fair city of ours. And we also have Shane from Accurate Construction, who can do anything from windows to doors to renovations. And this show's theme is the Renovation and Style show. This is, if you're looking to do some major renovations in your house, anything from countertops to putting in fireplaces, removing fireplaces, updating, basement renovations, all of these things, these are the guys that are here to give you the advice. And all of the questions are from our Facebook fans at Trustedsaskatoon.com. And we have some wonderful questions and so many questions as well. So I'm really looking forward to hearing the answers from the show today.
Well, let's get started with the questions then, I guess. Stephen, we'll dive right in with you from Wheatland Fireplace. Thanks for coming in. Good seeing you.
Yes, nice to be here.
Okay, this one is from Anne. Stephen, if my older home doesn't have a fireplace and I'd like one, what needs to be done as far as chimneys and installing one?
Well, our main part of our business is renovation. So installing a new fireplace in a home, whether you don't have one or you have an existing one right now, is very easy. So in types of chimneys, or in terms of chimneys, it depends on whether it's a gas fireplace or a wood fireplace that we're installing. If it's on an exterior wall with a gas fireplace, we would just go out the exterior wall and cap it off right there. If it's a wood-burning fireplace or an interior wall, then we're going to have to vent it up through the roof. So that might dictate on the location that you're going to want to place that fireplace at.
So it depends on a basic fundamental, whether it's going to be gas or wood. That's going to make a determination to begin with.
That's right.
And that's obviously something you can advise on when people come in and talk to you, and you can consult with them.
Yeah, if you come down, or we'll send our expert out to your house and just do a home consultation. And then from there, we can show you which fireplace we'd have to go with.
All right. Another question from Facebook from Sabina. Stephen, this is on fireplace. Our basement is very cold, and it's where our bedroom is located. It's warm upstairs where the heat control is, so I'm interested in a gas fireplace, but a wall insert. Is it possible to do these? And I was reading about ventless ones and read tons of negative stuff, so I'm somewhat scared of those. In
this situation, this is a perfect place to put a gas fireplace. When you have a gas fireplace, what it gives you is it gives you the ability to heat the room you're sitting in. Instead of cranking your furnace up and heating all four corners of the house, you just take the chill off of where you are. So by running that fireplace, you're going to save huge efficiencies and cost-wise there. To run a typical fireplace for like 100 hours will cost you, maybe $15. So to heat that or take that chill off the basement will work very well. In terms of putting a gas fireplace inside of a wall, there's not really anything that's that shallow. So we do have very shallow fireplaces that aren't going to take up a ton of room into your basement. If that is a situation where you can't give up any floor space, then maybe just even going to an electric wall-mounted fireplace just to help out with the heat down there will be the best way to go.
Is it possible to recess it slightly depending on how big the wall is? I mean, obviously it would still come up past the wall, but would
maybe
that be
if it's an interior wall, you could do that. If an exterior wall, we don't really have room to do that.
Yeah.
You don't want to really break the vapor barrier that's there. So you're better off coming a little ways into the room. And some of the fireplaces start at maybe only even a foot deep and go up from there. So we're not taking a huge amount of room.
Not a big footprint.
And the electric fireplaces you have don't look like the ones that your grandmother had. They look really awesome.
They've come a long ways from 20 years ago.
The pieces of paper fluttering.
That's right.
Well, it's either that or just, put on the cable and have the burning logs picture in there and hope that you get the placebo effect going for you. Another question from Facebook, this one from Jamie. We've thought of putting in a wood fireplace in our home since we miss our old one from our previous home. What will be the cost to have that done? And does it affect the cost depending on where it is in the home?
Yes, the location where you put your wood-burning fireplace is definitely going to affect the cost. The cost of the fireplace itself really isn't going to change where you put it, but the cost of chimney is. So whenever you have an offset in the chimney or the longer we have to run that chimney to make our clearances above the roof are going to increase the cost. And then the other part is some of the accessories you pick with your wood-burning fireplace. So whether, for example, you have just a more simple black, or whether you go nickel or gold louvers on a fireplace, or we have some really nice claddings that you can put off on the front to finish off your wood-burning, that's going to dictate the cost. But the best thing would be to come down, take a look at what we have, and get some ideas in your mind, and then have our guy come out to the house. We'll do the on-site visit, give you some ideas of what the best locations are to put that fireplace is, measure how much chimney you would need, We take all the information back and we just give you an exact price of what it'll cost you, and then you can sit down and decide what you want to do from there.
Because obviously it's going to be different from home to home to home depending on the circumstances.
That's right. Every install is going to dictate the cost of the fireplace.
One more question as we wrap up here. Again, these are the Facebook questions. This one from Cindy. Stephen, we have an average-sized electric fireplace in our living room. Our landlords are telling us that this is what is causing our breaker to blow. They say it's running 11 amps. Is this true? Thanks a bunch and look forward to your response.
Yeah, so when people are looking for electric fireplaces, all electric fireplaces are pulling about the same amount of electricity when they are running. When you mount an electric fireplace on the wall and it has no heat and it's more just a picture on the wall to look at, there's no issues of blowing a breaker. It's when you click the heat on. When you turn the heat on a fireplace, it's pulling about 1,500 watts on high. So a typical house circuit will have, roughly everything running on it will be pulling about 1,500 watts. So what you want to take a look at is what else is plugged in. If you have a TV plugged in, a bunch of lamps plugged in, the fireplace. So if there's a lot of other things on that circuit, there is a good chance that it will blow your breakers. So we always suggest when you come down that is something to take a look at, or to run a dedicated circuit just for the fireplace itself.
So there won't be any issues.
Then there will be no issues.
Great answers. We covered a lot of that off. Scott, you're up. Scott from CNG Stone. Questions that have come off the Facebook page. And I'm going to start with one from Daniel. Scott, how do you know how often granite has to be resealed? Do you offer this service, and how much should someone expect to pay?
The quick test is to use a water test, especially in spots where you use your countertops a lot. If you fill up a cup full of water and drop little spots on, leave it sit there for 15 minutes and then wipe it up. If where the water sat, there's a dark spot, the water got into the granite. Had it been mustard or whatever, you could have possibly stained it. At that point, you should reseal it. Having said that, on any install that we do, we seal the granite when we install it, and then we warranty it for 15 years. So there is no maintenance involved.
So what would be, to get it resealed, for example, is there a ballpark figure cost on that?
If they're a customer of ours, we do it free of charge.
Because it's under warranty.
Typically what we do is we'll just give them the sealer. It's a 15-minute process. It's super easy to do. I can explain it to anybody that comes in. And basically wipe it on, wipe it off, and you're done.
Kind of like the mustard, I guess.
Something like that, yeah.
Another question off the Facebook page, this one from Victoria. Scott, our house was built in 2011. We would like to upgrade the kitchen countertops to granite. Is there a way to do this without ripping out the backsplash?
You bet there is. I would say 99% of countertops that have been installed in the last 7-8 years are screwed in from the bottom. So we're able to just basically undo the screws and slide the countertop out. The only thing that might get damaged doing this is if there's a grout line between the bottom of the backsplash and the top of the countertop, that's going to likely come off. The bigger issue with doing this is most countertops, laminate countertops now are 1.5 inches thick. Our countertops or granite is typically 3 centimeters, which is about 1 inch and 3/16, 1 1/4. So there's a 1/4 of an inch height difference. So we'll have to figure out how to cover that gap. Usually what we do is just put 1/8 of an inch plywood subtop down, the granite on top, and then a bead of silicone or whatever will cover that 1/8 of an inch gap.
You're bringing the granite up to the
just
level of
bit,
where it was previously and doing it underneath, so it's a seamless install.
You betcha.
And the grout itself, that's not that difficult to remove and then kind of replace after you've got the granite in.
For sure. You can buy color-matched grout, and a house that new, you're going to have no problem finding the grout that was likely used.
All right, we need to take a quick break. I've got more questions for you after the break, Scott. Scott from CNG Stone. More Facebook questions coming in, so just going to get you set, get you ready for it. Quick break. We're back with more News Talk 980 CJME.